Hi everyone, I'm Melissa O'Connor. I'm a Florida-based elder law attorney who does estate planning, focusing on long-term care, commonly referred to as Medicaid planning, and I do probate, and I do it well. Today I wanted to talk to you about long-term care planning in advance. So this is particularly for those people who are nearing retirement. Maybe you're 55, 65, maybe even 70 years old, and you're thinking about retirement. You're wondering, how am I going to afford to get sick in my old age? You might have run into having dealt with that with your parents, right? And you realize how quickly your retirement funds can be gobbled up if there is a medical problem later in life. And you might be wanting to avoid that because you saw and felt the impacts as an adult child. You might be also realizing that you don't have long-term care health insurance, right? And now you're a little bit too old, or you don't otherwise medically qualify. You might have prediabetes or some other condition preventing you from qualifying for an affordable policy at this juncture. If that's you, then you may want to consider engaging in some long-term care planning now, pre-retirement, or right in the early retirement years while you're still young, because for Medicaid, it does pay for long-term care, but you have to meet certain financial qualifications, and there is a 5-year look-back period. So we want to put these types of plans in place early if we're engaging in pre-planning. Pre-planning normally involves use of an irrevocable trust. You don't have to put all your assets in this irrevocable trust. We just have to be thoughtful about the amount of assets that we put in this trust. And also, planning ahead this way can limit certain other negative implications that we have with crisis planning tools, right? When we are moving money quickly in the time of crisis, many times we face certain tax implications that had we engaged in pre-planning, we could have avoided. And so while most people kind of shy away from these irrevocable trusts because they realize, oh, there's a lack of control and we don't even know if I'm going to need it in the future and those sorts of things. If you're a person who has felt the impact of your parents' either failure to plan or just their plans weren't good enough, right? This might be a tool that you want to consider, and it can be something that you and your elder law attorney are thoughtful. You can talk, we can bring in your financial planner as well, and any CPA or people that you work with to handle your money, and put in place a plan that makes sense for you and shelters your assets now before you would, need it in 5 years or later, and sets you up for success in your golden years when you no longer have the same sort of income stream and you will need certain types of care, and particularly if you want to obtain that care in home, right? Most people want to stay home, and in-home care is more expensive generally than community-based, assisted living type of care, and Medicaid will pay for that if you qualify both medically and financially. I hope that this information has been helpful to you. If it has, I ask that you like and share with others. And as always, you can schedule a free strategy session with me at eldermeeting.com. Thank you.